is 1923. Already a legend of the burgeoning city of Los Angeles, Harry Chandler set his sights on the future frontier. This fetching lad was formerly a distributor for multiple newspapers in the city and was eventually hired to be the general manager of the Los Angeles Times. He's kind of the original Mr. LA.
He helped found the LA Coliseum and was instrumental in bringing the Olympics to the city. He built all kinds of structures, the Biltmore, the Hollywood Bowl, and he's a big reason that Los Angeles is Los Angeles. But there was further work to turn a boomtown into a functioning metropolis, a center of commerce and show business, but for whom? Could Mr. Chandler handle this new frontier of land development and truly
build Los Angeles?
And if you're here to watch me cancel Harry Chandler, get your hot sauce ready and hit that subscribe button. Hollywood was always in need of a symbol, and the thing about symbols is you can't really make people connect to them when you create them. You can't force a zeitgeist to embrace something. Maybe it's a diner mascot that somehow represented an entire career that meant an eternity of art in a finite amount of time. And also donuts and Kyle McLeod. Look, the point is, landmarks aren't granted purpose, they earn it. Culture and the way it stays in the world happens organically, even if the original builder designed it for kind of cynical reasons. Sometimes the cynicism turns into genuine appreciation for a thing. Time changes how people feel about landmarks. For example, for the first leg of this journey, we're going to be sticking with Mr. Chandler here, a man kind of responsible for helping develop San Fernando Valley, where I currently live, the other side of the mountain, so to speak. Harry Chandler is a man with a lot of rich and professional acquaintances. These men, together like rugged titans of industry before we knew this particular archetype had no off button, developed the Hollywood Hills and much of San Fernando Valley. They built and used design advertising this whole concept in 1923, Hollywood Land, gateway to fulfillment of dreams. Pop up Mulholland Drive into the hillside, a promise that actually never changes, only grows. It shined bright in three parts: Holly, Wood, Land, then all at once. Hollywood, the land where dreams come true. Hey, time out. Yeah, it's me, Film Michael. Not ever a great time to do this. Harry Chandler, especially as head of the LA Times, was a great supporter of eugenics, a full-fledged member of the Human Betterment Foundation. Listen, the history of Los Angeles was kind of immortalized in the opening of Damien Chazelle's Babylon. LA was born in heaps of elephant shit. Entertainment industries produced artists and the people who endlessly manipulate them. Spoilers for Los Angeles, I guess. This is true every single decade of the world's existence. Wait until you Google Harry Chandler and the Supreme Court. Oh, your face is gonna be so red. Bring that triumphant music back! The point being, there is a massive sign advertising a lot of land development, sure, but it also becomes a landmark for people in the area. It becomes part of the culture outside of being an advertisement for real estate. Two things can be true. Two or more things are often true. This plan is huge and terrifying. Even Walt Disney tried to plan a neighborhood and failed. Until now, spooky music. But if you promise people the right dream when success is wafting through the air, they'll show up. which is where the timing of these activities become part of the story. This is a lot of material to haul up a mountain. Many of the supports in the back of the sign are telephone poles, and when those wood structures started to go, they propped up the telephone poles with more telephone poles. Hey, culture isn't free. Culture must be maintained. It should also be noted that these original letters were 43 feet tall. The letters themselves were cut and assembled from a nightmarish labyrinth of 3x9-inch steel plates, makeshift scaffolding, and wires for the absolutely bonkers lighting setup. Hollywood, a place people could dream whilst looking up the side of Mount Lee at the twinkling lights on the sign. As cool as this was not a monument built to be maintained over time. It was only built to be a site for locals for no more than a year and a half. Intended to sell houses. It was a bright, shiny sign. But time marches forward and that sign begins to deteriorate. Harry Chandler sadly passes away due to a heart attack in 1944. He is surrounded by family and eugenicists. By 1949, the sign is in absolute disrepair. Telephone poles are holding up the telephone poles. Locals are demanding it be removed. It was no longer a symbol of hope and dreams. Eyesore, an absolute eyesore. It was a stark reminder that people build real estate advertisements on the side of mountains. What do you do with a sign that becomes so much more than a symbol? Who should even maintain that? It's not an easy question, and it's one you are asking in a non-standard kind of town. It's a town repeatedly built on top of itself over 100 years. The city of Los Angeles does step in, and as a matter of preserving the culture they were actively inventing, invested money and effort to build a new sign to simply say Hollywood. Not a housing development, but the idea nested in by people over the decades. Kind of a neat compromise to preserve the culture aspect of a town, inventing itself while shaking off the bold-faced real estate advertisement while, being a bold-faced real estate. This is a real estate town. Spoilers for California. We fast forward again to the late 1970s, and the new sign has deteriorated in much the same way as the old one did. It's 1978, and cocaine cannot solve this problem. We've already tried everything.
This is a deli of a pickle.
Oh my God, the PTA has disbanded!
If you haven't noticed, I'm doing a thing where the Hollywood sign in LA goes through a lot of growth spurts, as Hollywood does, the ultimate symbol, and that symbol has been dying for a long, long time. The dream has wood mold. Who will save us? Enter Hugh Hefner. Wait, is that? Uh-oh. Ah, jeepers.
The year is 1978.
Okay, so Hugh Hefner, bear with me, does earnestly see LA as home. Probably had something to do with the gigantic opulent mansion anyway. But he sees in the Hollywood sign the symbol of a town built in lights to entertain, to offer a space where dreams can come true. In 1978, the city of Los Angeles makes it clear that upgrading the sign to last through time is going to cost $250,000. Hugh jumps on this project and agrees to spearhead a fundraising campaign, and this next part is immortal. Alice Cooper is the first one to buy a letter, and he does this even before there is a fundraising dinner. He donates $27,700 for the first O in wood on behalf of Groucho Marx, which is the best sentence in the history of sentences. The second O in wood is donated by Warner Brothers Records, and fun fact, that is Alice Cooper's record label. Hugh is granted the letter Y on behalf of the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce for doing the $150 a seat in 1978 dinner to save the letters. Andy Williams is the story of the night, pitching in the full amount for the W in wood. Dennis Lidke of Avalon fame is the one to provide the D in wood back to the front. From left to right, the donations are: H is for Terrence Donnelly, O is for Giovanna Mazza. First L is Les Kelly, second L is Gene Autry doing a sick collab with KTLA. And the Y in the middle of it all belongs to Hugh Hefner in honor of him helping bring this whole thing together. With the money raised, they set about to demolish the old sign. The city of Los Angeles would be without a sign for 3 long months in 1978, but this time they built a steel structure into a concrete foundation. They also, super importantly, formed the Hollywood Sign Trust, a 501c3 nonprofit, on October 7th, 1978. This entity will manage the infrastructure of the sign into the future. It is in writing for the benefit of the public, a cultural touchstone worth preserving because it is a recognizable symbol all over the world. In 1992, it is codified even further by the California Attorney General, granting specific rights to maintain and develop the sign into the future. Wait, hang on, I don't get it. How is there a part 3 after this? The symbol of the dream was maintained through all eternity. Certainly it wouldn't be a clever end of video reveal itself for the dream to be the thing dying, And the sign is still there. It didn't burn down in the fires I'm sure you heard about. Though AI Slop would have some people endlessly believing all kinds of shit. It really can't burn down, which was definitely the germination for this video. It used to be able to burn down. Not no more. Not since Hugh Hefner kicked the door in. Let's go. Me and Hugh. Oh. The reality is that an entirely steel sign like this could be damaged in the fire, but destroying it would be pretty unlikely. Which is kind of irrelevant because we find ourselves at a crossroads. What happens to the dream when the symbol is the only thing left standing?
The year is 2025.
Are you there, the complex Robberizian Hollywood system? It's me, Film Michael. I haven't been in this town for that long. I'm a lowly Texas transplant whose partner comes from here, though. Monterey Park, legit, son. But I love this town. I think it should exist, and I think art needs a place to thrive in the business sense. Dreams come true when you get paid for them. Horrible but true.
We live in a society.
Also, a lot can happen in a century. Just ask Hollywood.
I think that Hollywood sign is so omnipresent in other parts of culture that when you first move here, you can't help it but invest some sort of sense of majesty into it. Once you've been in LA for a while, some of the gloss comes off of the whole Hollywood concept, but still, that Hollywood sign, if something were to happen to it, would sting pretty deeply, I think, because it does still represent, at some level, a sense of possibility and creativity.
You literally you haven't seen the episode and you just actually said it better in less words, I think.
Thanks.
The history of this town is plagued with misfortune, shady deals, and predatory leadership. For every dream realized, there are hundreds that fall short, but it's worse now. The entertainment industry is always going to attract money, interested in easy further money.
So, yeah, I would say there's somewhat of a Hollywood dream, mainly because a dream can be detached from reality. You come out here and you do have an idea of what's waiting for you, and then you have to grapple with what's actually here. Yeah, when I look up at the sign, maybe it's because I come from a background like my mom's a librarian, my sister's a historian. I see the history behind that more than my own individual like dream necessarily. When I look at projects and productions, that's more when I start like seeing possibilities than just the sign.
However, that didn't used to be all it was. It's all too connected. What a TV personality is allowed to say about a movie is dictated by their parent company's investment portfolio. It's why all of these people were losing their friggin' minds on Twitter about how great The Flash was. Yes, I remember. Pepperidge Farms
Fucking remembers.
The problem with everyone becoming a streaming service is there is too much demand for content and not enough money to go around and actually make it. It's golden arms all the way down.
Is that made of gold?
Yes, it is.
Are you a princess?
We broke the very basic underpinnings of a system that ran a city.
It's a Hollywood done it, as police are scrambling to figure out who stole the D from the famed Hollywood sign.
Ignore millionaire actors and producers for a second and think about how many artisans in this city no longer have a dependable livelihood because a cavalcade of dipshits thinks skibidi content is in this spring. What good is a symbol for a dream we're actively suffocating? I guess I'm saying take a look around. The Hollywood sign absolutely survived the wildfires, but did the entertainment industry?
How do you go about accomplishing that dream?
I think for a disabled person, the Hollywood dream is even more particular and strange because people don't see us on screen much anyway. And so in some sense, this has never been a fully inclusive space for disabled people. And when disabled people are on screen, they're usually played by non-disabled people or they're in documentaries. They're very rarely in narrative filmmaking. So the only sensible response to that, I think, is to make your own material and sort of show Hollywood what is possible.
After 100 years, shouldn't this be a fair and equitable town for everyone? The actors are the one that paid for the sign. Wasn't that the point of this town, to weather the storm together? To give art a place to succeed collaboratively on the capitalists' playing field? It's kind of an insane dream and one I literally believe should exist. A dream isn't worth anything if the deck is stacked on top of you. Maybe let's put people back to work and give that symbol some meaning once more. And put artisans back to work. Streaming services and a world hell-bent on obliterating itself are the reasons we are in this mess. I guess I'm saying pay your Titanic music program a living wage. I hope everyone enjoyed the Hollywood sign video. I had a lot of fun making it and learning all that crazy shit about the Hollywood sign. It's 2025 and everything sucks, but there are 3 main ways to support us. You can go to catawampas.inc and shop for our cool t-shirts and pins and outlook on life. Or you can support us directly at patreon.com/movieswithmikey. That's me. Or you can support us at Nebula, the streaming platform made by and for creators at go.nebula.tv/filmjoy. See you in the next one.